The Amish community is an interesting culture to America. Spanning across 7 different states, the plain life of these people still intrigues most of common culture, so much so that people still flock to Lancaster County and other areas, or better known as Amish country, to experience the lifestyle for themselves. Now, though many may think they have a basis of how this culture functions, believe it or not, there are some things you may not know or have heard of when it comes to the Amish. I'm Mike from Collection of Madness, and these are the top 10 surprising facts about the Amish. You should subscribe to the channel because I know the Amish Mafia and they will mess you up, son, don't you? No, that's a very horrible impersonation of an Amish person. Moving on. Number 10, don't take their picture. This one is more common courtesy than anything. Imagine somebody pulling up beside your car next to your house and start taking pictures of you. You wouldn't like that now, huh? Well, neither do the Amish. First and foremost, they are people, not a tourist attraction, so don't be a Some Amish people will let you take pictures with them if you kindly ask, but just whipping out your phone or camera and snapping away is rude, so don't do that. Number 9, they are super healthy, but they also aren't. You'd have to imagine being outside, growing and consuming your own produce, and being away from the congested city life naturally does wonders for the body, which is why from a health standpoint the Amish community is generally healthy. However, in the 20th century their population was only at 5,000 people. The trouble with all of that is they're also very limited in terms of potential partners for reproducing. The population of around 250,000 now hails from just 200 or so families according to the Liveverse, which is a result of dangerous case of founder effect. Normally the chances of this disorder is multiplied many times over, and the infant mortality rate is sky high because of it. Number 8, children only go to school to 8th grade. The Amish tradition is that the children don't have to do any schooling after the 8th grade so that they can go help on the farm or start on another job or to help the family in finding whatever business adventure that you'll eventually start. For those thinking, wait, you have to be 16 years old to drop out of high school though, right? Well, you would be correct, unless you're Amish. The Supreme Court made a decision in the 1960s to actually grant the Amish permission to drop out early, since their religious tradition started long before the current day state laws surrounding the education system. So they get a pass on that one. Number 7, they actually use electric and technology. Hold up, what? Yep, that's very true. Almost every Amish person uses electricity in their homes. No, there's no candle lit for the nighttime light, but mainly they're hooked up to massive generators for their electric needs, including cell phones. Yes, a cell phone, though you don't flaunt it around or are on it all the time like most Americans nowadays, but as long as it's not in the home and it's used solely for business purposes, quote unquote, it's absolutely fine. Number 6, they pay taxes just like the rest of us. Yes, the Amish pay taxes just like you and I. Well, at least some of us. Income tax, sale tax, property tax, and local taxes. The Amish have to abide by the same tax laws as everyone else. However, they are exempt from Social Security, as they normally will take care of one another by raising money or donating to the community when tragedy or unforeseen events happen, or just to help take care of their elderly. Number 5, they have their own language. A lot of people don't know that the Amish have their own language and English dialect. The Amish are bilingual. They speak what's called Dutch or Lower German, which is actually a German Swiss English mush of language, if you can follow all that, and it kind of sounds like they're casting a spell sometimes. But besides that, it's a very unique rural type accent which matches how they speak English. Mainly you'll hear Amish speaking in English, but that's pretty much only in public, and if they're around other Amish, they will speak in what has been dubbed Pennsylvania Dutch. Number 4, Rumspringer equals party time. What is Rumspringer, you might ask? Well, I'm not saying it's spring break for Amish adolescents, but I'm not saying that it isn't that either. At the age of 16, an Amish adolescent engages in Rumspringer, which literally means jumping or running around in the English translation. A time period where they are able to experience society at large. They may drink alcohol, experience modern technology, and wear casual street clothes, should they choose. This isn't intended as a time to just abandon all of the rules and go absolutely wild, but rather it's to consider things before signing up to the church properly as an adult. The majority of the teens teens simply opt out to go to the movie theater or things of that nature, but some Amish boys have gotten themselves driving license and vehicles during this time, which they have parked at their parents' homes. If you decide not to join the church and are shunning the faith and being shunned in return, it's not really a popular choice, with around 92% dedicating themselves to the Amish church and way of life. Number 3, they vacation in Florida. If you live in any of the states where the Amish live, then right around March, I'm sure you've seen a giant tour bus picking up a large group of Amish. Where are they going, you may ask? Well, that's Florida. While down there, they experience a vacation just like you and I. They don't completely throw the rulebook out the window, but you will see them out and about on the beach with some of the younger women sporting bikinis and the boys with swim trunks. But mainly they play shuffleboard, volleyball, and are just enjoying the warm Florida air. Number 2, a taste for Mexican food. Now, this one you probably didn't see coming. I can certainly appreciate a good taco, fajita, or enchilada myself, but did you know that some in the Amish community have a huge hankering for Mexican cuisine too? The community may be well known for their home-style cooking, but according to the richest, they also have ties with Mexico. A century or so ago, Mexico was a huge draw for the community thanks to its easy availability of land and medical care, which they don't have health insurance in America, so sometimes they'll go to Mexico to get better care. While there, of course, some of the traditional cuisine got itself wrapped up and the Amish came back to the Lancaster County area with it. And number 1, history and religion. The history of the Amish actually starts in Switzerland. Go figure. The term Amish itself derives from the name of Jacob Ammon, an Anabaptist, a branch of Protestant believing that baptism should take place later in life when the person is able to make the decision as a grown adult. Amish believe in the one true God and his son Jesus Christ, so they would call themselves Christians and mainly recognize the religious traditions with some Amish traditions thrown in there. After a quick little snuff with other members of the Mennonite church back in Switzerland, Ammon, who pushed for a literal interpretation of the Bible, distanced himself from that community and started his own. Those who followed his way of thinking began to be known as the Amish, and thus the community was born. And that's our list. Don't forget to subscribe and like, turn on all notifications to get more great content like these videos here and here. And if you want to check out any more great content that we have, press this playlist over here.